I burned up a whole Apollo thing too.
All right, what's popping? What's popping?
Hey.
Welcome to Transmutation Station with the fucking neighborhood hope dealer and majestic magi. So I want you to introduce yourself, Marcy, our majestic magi. What you want to go about? How would you like me to address you?
Well, you can call me Marcy, but the psychic medium gig is Magestic Magi. But yeah, Marcy Majestic Magi. I actually channeled that name one day, and I'm really super shy in a way. I am and I'm not. So, but when I channeled it, I kind of actually had to con myself into pushing myself forward to actually putting that as a title name because I really don't get into titles and things like that. It's kind of sometimes it's hard to describe what you really do because you just have to be in the energy, you know. And then finally, I was like, okay, well, Majestic Magi it is. It didn't come to me by chance, just like Tupac didn't. He channeled Machiavelli, right?
Yeah, thanks. I really really love your name, especially being a Star Wars nerd, and just understanding the way of the Magi. So, and I really really just haven't gotten to know you. You are exactly what you say you are. You are exactly a
Oh,
majestic Magi.
thanks. See, I get all emotional. That's all the cancer in the moon.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
you're a Cancer moon. Okay, so
Yeah.
you already know the people want to know what's your big three.
Oh, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, all water, and Mama's been feeling it. Trust me, I've been feeling it. But
I forget that you all water. So all right, so I'm
yeah.
gonna ask you, especially right now, since we are in transmutation station, especially being all water. I know I've been feeling this, and I'm just a Scorpio rising.
Mhm.
What's some advice that you would give to channel your inner majestic magi? What's some advice you would give to people
Ah,
to maneuver through this climate?
well, I do a lot of I record a lot of self affirmations and I write stuff all over, you know. So I'm constantly manifesting and writing things just to try to keep myself at bay, you know.
Mm,
Constantly, whether it's going, I delve down into meditation or prayer, always
mm,
praying. It's almost like I wake up with God, and it's not that I'm trying to push God on people because everybody can have their own way that
mm.
they relate and such, but it's almost like it's just inherent, I guess, in a sense. And I'm not bragging. It's just there's always God in my heart. There's always love in my heart, and so really I just kind of push that forward. It's almost like I'm like the Care Bear memes. It's like when somebody gives me an evil eye or something, looks at me a certain way, I'll just in my mind I'm sending them like my shooting with my heart, you know. So
You
and
transmuting that shit.
then I gotta take like 3 deep breaths if it's really bad. And I'm like, all right, sister, get yourself back in order. But I do realize it's important to keep ourselves balanced and such. And I can tell when I'm out of balance, and you know everybody's been going through it, so it's not just me. But when I'm out of balance and feeling all over the place, it's like I get pretty anxious. So I gotta keep myself in order.
So how can you tell when you are shout out to New Age Josh, shout out to Mystical Illumination, shout out to the Peace Dealer, shout out to the whole gang. Now
Yeah, shout out to everybody. We love you. Thank you, Mystical Illuminations. Peace, Taylor. What's up? New
so
Age Ja, I see you.
we mama. We feel you, mama.
Yeah.
So
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
how do you know when you balanced and when you're not balanced? Like what does that feel like for you?
I feel it's weird because my whole energy body, like I feel it in my like really I think it's important, and I'm continuously learning every day. That's one of my big things. I don't feel like you'll ever get to where you know everything. If you think you know everything, then you jacked yourself, you know, because it's like we're constantly evolving, and I constantly get new triggers and new. Basically, I'm getting a lot of fear triggers lately, and so like if it hits my heart hard, and I feel like it's all the whole singly, collectively, and as a whole. So you got to balance out in the sense of okay, I got to discern what's mine, what's the world's, and make sure my vibrations high and my shields are protected and such like that because I get all kinds of weird stuff, and I always have. And so I think a lot of it, and I can send myself over the edge way quick. So I have to like, okay, sit down for a minute, whether it's, you know, cuddling with my dogs or listening to some meditation music or whatever. I have a full on Reiki CD. It's been a rough week. So there's a Reiki CD playing like 24/7 in my truck. And so I'm like, okay, calm it down, calm it down, calm it down. And then yeah, if you're out of balance and you feel like a paranoid freak, believe me, I don't need no drugs.
you don't. And shout out to today's Josh. She said something like, she said, what is mine and what is the world? And that's
Yeah.
message whole transmuting 101. You can't transmute what you
Hmm.
don't understand where it comes from, because you don't know the root
Hmm.
of it. You don't know the source of it. You don't
It
know any
feels,
of those things.
yeah, it feels like for me, if it's the world, it's in, like, I get a lot of anxious energy in my heart. And if it's mine, I feel it down in my solar plexus.
Ooh.
I'm starting to actually set those recipes for myself, but or discern where that, and that's what it is. It's like when if my heart becomes very like my vibration, just like anxiety feels like bad, just like shaking. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then I was like, okay, Marcy, it's not yours. Get it, clear it in. And then, but if it's mine, it's right in my gut, my midsection,
Mm.
the root, the sacral and the root. So,
All right, so I want to dig deep into that, but so just so you guys know, everybody that's just tuning in, so welcome to Transmutation Station. This is something that
choo choo.
Magestic, Magi, and myself, this is something, a regular series that we will be doing. We'll do it once a month, and it'll probably be on a Monday, so you can catch us, guys. Come here with all of your questions and comments. This is an interactive platform, and we want to help you transmute energy in your life, whether it's positive energy, negative energy, anxiety energy, any energy that you may have. So a little background about us in this, and I'm gonna kind of give the show over, because we're co-hosts. I'm gonna give the show over to Marcy really quickly, because this was kind of her brain baby, like the Transmutation Station. She was like, Hope Dealer, I want to do something with you, and I'm thinking Transmutation Station. So when you said Transmutation Statement, what was you thinking? What
Ah,
in your spirit brought you to that?
well, I channeled it actually, and then then I kind of thought about it. I was like, wow, I personally, and I feel like you are too, and it must have to do something with that Scorp, because Scorpios are like I can take any situation, and maybe in the time I'm not feeling that way, but then I always can find the light at the end of the tunnel, or really good at uh I don't know what the word I want to use is, but kind of actually bringing solace to a situation. Like I'm good under pressure, believe it or not. Like if there's some shit going down, I can be like, right, and but and it's kind of, and it just happens to me instinctively. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I never. But that's, I guess, one of part of what I can do. I really don't freak out under pressure, even though my heart feels like it's going to. But I was like, my heart might be doing this, but my mind's like, okay, and then I just always like have I can, the way that I can, whatever words that come to my mind or whatever, I'm good at transmuting energy. Um, and yeah, it's not easy. But what about how about yourself? But I do feel, and I'm not an astrologer, so I do feel like it has something to do with the Scorp,
Um, so
because I do. And thanks for doing this with me, by the way. It's a very pleasure to be on here with you and to have gotten to get to know you. And I've actually, hey, shout out to Neighborhood Hope Dealer, because I've called her plenty of times. See, I'm not above the law. We all get where we need some good people.
Thanks. And you already know I appreciate you. Just a simple plug, like I always tell people that you're the real deal, and I really, really mean that you're the real deal. A lot of people have they're very skeptical when it comes to psychics, and even myself as being a person, because when we talk to people as intuitives, or just like as a seer, or as certain things, we kind of don't know if what we're saying is a real thing. Like we kind of need, like, not that we need confirmation outside of ourselves, but like I'm saying something to you and I'm walking literally on faith when I'm talking to you. So I'm going to tell you something at the risk of me sounding nutso.com, and either you're going to affirm or you're not going to affirm. And I'll tell you this, you said some things to me that, like, shout out to motherfucking Magic Mike, but when he was talking about he just posted a video not too long ago talking about mediums and things like this, and he said, you have those people who fake spiritual and they say certain things, but it was like a real spiritualist, a real medium, they gonna tell you some shit that only you and that person know. And several times you have said some shit to me that had me in tears, and I'm like God, this is real, this comes from you, because it's no way, like I know she don't know this, I know it's nowhere on the social media, it's nobody that would know this except for maybe close family and the person that you're telling me about. So and you do it from, I feel people out, and you do it from your heart. You do it in a gentle way, because it can be a very scary thing. So one, I just appreciate you. I appreciate your magic. I appreciate you sharing that, because it is a scary thing, and it's the idea that people will look at you like something wrong with you, but it's not. Like, you really are magical. So if any, what's popping, J-Lo, if anybody really is looking for an intuitive or a psychic or somebody or a medium, because like that's a real thing. Like if you're really looking for a medium, that's she Magestic Magi, she the one. She really is. And so I wanted to shout you out. Like, I appreciate you. You a blessing. Like, you just, your energy, your heart. Like I can feel your water. My Scorpio resonates with your Scorpio. And so to kind of go on to the transmutation, a reason why I signed on to this with you is because I have Kevin Gates. You already know. If you know me, you know I love Kevin Gates, and he has this lyric, and I'm about to turn some trash into cash. He's talking about a hooker in the song, but like that's my motto. Like life. Steve Jobs has this quote that says, "Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick, and that's it." And that's it. And so I have been hitting the head. My sister literally was hitting the head with a brick as a child, but I've been hitting the head with so many metaphorical bricks. Even one just as close as soon as last week. When I say a brick, like I had to, like I was like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? And you can either let that brick knock you the fuck out, or you can take that brick, or while you're on the ground, you can be figuring out a master plan like Pinky and the Brain for when you get up, how to take whatever that hit you, how to turn that into gold, how to make that work to your benefit. So many people get caught up in they like to stay down in the dumps, but I'm not like, stay down there for as long as you want to, but I'm all about being like proactive. So as long as if you down there, be making a plan in your head, be doing something, because everything. Lecrae, there's a song by Lecrae called Blessings. He said, if I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. If everything in your life is a lesson, you can't fail. That's a hard mentality to get into. It's hard when somebody snatches something away from you or hits you in the head with a brick, to say, you know what, I'm gonna make this work to my benefit. Shout out to Kobe. He said those bricks build houses. That's the epitome of transmutation.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. So we're gonna teach you. Our goal with this show is to teach you how to take every brick that hit you in the head and build a house, and then flip that bitch and make some money off of that.
Yeah.
So that's why I popped on this bitch.
Yeah. When you said when you spoke on get 3 days for me. If I'm down, it's on it. I really can't set my ass still at any time, to be honest with you. I'm always popping and moving, doing something. Even when I can't sit with myself, I'm like, okay, let's go here, let's go there. But so if I'm feeling it, I don't let myself go past 3 days. But there's something with because I like the Trinity, so I was like 3. And then I'm like, okay, get up, do something. You're doing something, and my mind's always working. So. And then I feel like when you step outside of yourself is when you get the best information too, because right now our minds are under like serious attack. So it's like reel it in.
And so I like that. So, and I love how, and just a message for everybody. Everybody transmits energy differently. Like she said, first off, random, somebody told me 3 was my number. So 3s. And so when you said 3, the Trinity, that lets me know I'm right where I'm supposed to be. But sometimes you say 3 days. I like that. I'm striving for that. 3 days. That's it. Let me tell you, sometimes it's 3 years. so for me personally, sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes it's 3 weeks, sometimes it's 5, for me, it's don't get back up. And I love that. That's something for me to aspire to be strong enough to not stay down for longer than 3 days. Yeah, let me get some of what you got, Marcy.
I'm like a little cockroach. I'll keep getting up for more. Like that's like if you're stubborn, it's like I use my stubbornness in that good way to like, it's like, no, you're not kicking me down. I will get back up. I promise you that. I will get back up swinging every time. So I'm not stubborn as in hard-headed, but I'm stubborn in the fact that I will get back up no matter how much dirt I've kicked.
And I think that's something we have in common. So real quick, I'm gonna go back to that statement, but John wanted to know, what's your big 3 for sun, moon, rising? I know we just talked about it, but go for it, just for people who just tuning in.
Pisces sun, Cancer moon, and Scorp rising. And then what's your big 3 piece? Neighborhood Hope Dealer.
shit, like Leo sun.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Go
I
for
know
it.
you.
I'm with the shits. Leo sun, Libra moon, Scorpio rising. So you
Okay, okay.
rising too?
I'm a Scorp rising, yeah.
Yeah. That's Scorpio.
Yeah.
And listen, I tell people what I learned about the, like, I feel like the big three, and I was saying this in one of my motivation Mondays on Sundays. I feel like the big three, and so you're not an astrologer, but like as per astrology, for me, this is not for everybody. People do astrology different, but I feel like the big three energy are like they carry the same weight. Maybe in different aspects in your life, but I feel like I can resonate with a Scorpio. Any Scorpio, if you have Scorpio in your big three, you can resonate. If you're a Leo, you got Scorpio. Yeah, right, right, John. All water.
I'll cry. I could hold on. I'm getting a call. Sorry.
um,
Hey, I could be crying. I could be crying, mad, and still, you could see me full of tears, and I'm still ready to fight. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't like I'm like my heart's like that strong. It's like uh that's what's always funny because I was always say just because I'm crying don't mean I don't know what's going on, or just because you know what I mean. It's like don't mistake it for weakness. I guess I would say.
so this weekend I did a video called the cancer cry, and it was essentially alluding to when you see a cancer cry, don't think it's a cry of it's like I'm a bitch cry. It's a I can't kill you. I can't do what I want to do till you cry. I'm mourning my inability to hurt you back.
I'm honestly, but yeah, pretty peaceful too, though. I mean, there's like that mechanism that I always think before you know what I mean? It's almost like I might want to jack somebody up, but I'm like, nope, that's on you.
Yep.
Hey, still my fucking peace. So, well, beyond that, so I guess it's good emotional control, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh said something. What's popping, Andy? Josh said something. She said water signs transmute energy via tears.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
That's true. That's true because I've literally I've woken up actually the last few months. I literally would just wake up crying. And one time there was like tears like were literally jumping out of my eyes. It's like I'm not like it was kind of like it was weird. And but I can also feel the energy release. So I think it's not, humbly speaking, maybe there were the residual blocks for me, okay? Because there's even things, that we all have, everybody has deep down that maybe you didn't think that affected you like to this day still, you know what I mean? It's kind of like everything is packed in, and then I feel like there was a lot of release going on, maybe astrologically speaking, somebody can clarify that, because it just seems like a lot of stuff was just kind of coming out, not just for one, just worldly, but singly, collectively as a whole once again. But and then there would be like a memory. I'd wake up with a memory, and I'd wake up crying. And if you're with somebody or you're sleeping next to somebody, I also woke up crying many a times. And then this fool is talking about, you're crying because you're leaving me. I was like, no, I think I just peeled off a bunch of your shit when I was sleeping. And I was like, and I wake up crying. I was like, don't get it twisted. I care about you and all, but I'm not crying to leave this house. Right? And it's like, so I think it was a little bit of everything. And then just, probably crying, man. Josh, when you brought that up, Josh, probably crying for the world too. Feeling all the stuff, all the, the crazy stuff that's going on, So I don't think it's just limited down to me in a personal sense, but when I wake up and I have memories or something that's brought to the surface, it's kind of like that just tells me, in that moment, I feel like it was released from me, and I'm crying the residual tears when I wake up. So I don't really give it too much thought anymore after that. I just basically, that's how it's like, okay, that was washed from me.
And so just a thought, like, so in this last so I'm gonna shout, I'm putting words together. I'm gonna shout out Liz the Energy. She is a Reiki practitioner. If you have problems with releasing on your own, to anybody who is watching this or who watches this, y'all make sure y'all look her up. She's on, if y'all go to the Clear Sight Consulting website, she can help with that. We talking about transmuting energy. And let me tell you, for me, I am, because I do, like, because I tell people all the time, like, I'm not the type, I don't like to hurt people. The meaner people are to me, the nicer I am to them. However,
Yeah.
I have to do something. It's not that I don't want to hurt them back. That's just not in my nature. But because of that, I take on, so all of their negative energy that they give to me, I internalize that. And
Mhm.
for a lot of the time, because of my personality, because of my placements, like I don't I'm very stoic. I don't like to really show that emotion. Where I'm from, in any culture, they say never let them see you sweat. So a way for me to transmute that or to release that is tears. Like, so I'll not cry for for a long period of time, and then one day I'll just wake up, or I'll just be sitting in the room and just like start bawling, crying. So for instance, like when my grandmother died, I didn't cry. I didn't have time to fucking cry. I had to go be this person. I had to go do this. I had to go, and all of that is transmuting energy, because you have to understand, like, if for instance, in death, you have all of these people who are around you who are sad. And I have a big jovial energy. So I'm taking my big jovial energy and I'm taking their sadness and I'm giving them jovial energy. But if I take on their energy, I have to do something with it. So I'm carrying it with me, but I'm strong enough to not let that energy take over me. So I'm taking it and putting it in a little compartment in my body and giving them joy. I'm taking your sadness and giving you joy. I'm taking your sadness and giving you joy. And so I'll tell you, so when I got my wand, and I listened to my wand reading, I instantly, like, I cried. So I cried ugly snot cry. Like, I cried all of the tears, and I felt like that was me transmuting that energy. That was everybody's tears that I had. And not to make it sound like I'm some kind of savior, because I'm fucking not. But that's a way that I try to transmute that energy. I know funerals are supposed to be a sad thing, but I wanted to turn our funeral into a comedy show. I wanted to take that sadness, that idea of that sadness, and turn it into something fun and something memorable, so that when we did think back on that day, we didn't think about it in a sad way. We thought about it in a happy way. Um,
Yeah.
does
Well,
that
think about, yeah, no, it makes sense, but just think about it though. That's even part of the programming of the entire world. We were fucking programmed in fear. And so basically now everybody's undoing all of that and thinking for themselves, because even personally myself, I've gone, like, yeah, nobody likes to go to funerals, right? But
make?
they set the whole ambience. It's like, okay, well, I mean, this is just my opinion. So this isn't, my opinion is, why in the hell do I want to look at somebody in a casket? And who came up with that idea? Because it's so creepy. They made, and they placed everything death around fear. No matter what religion you are, they placed such a morbidity around death, and in the fear around death and such like that, right? And so now they do that, and then now add all the other creepy movies and shit involved with it. So, and nobody really understands it. But maybe if death is supposed to be a transition, right, and energy doesn't die, if according to people's beliefs, right, then but and I've been to I got sidetracked for a second, but then I went been to funerals. I've been to a celebration to where they were having, like, and this was kind of a little bit weird for me too, but I will say that it did totally change the whole ambience of the whole it was a celebration of life more so, and they had wine walking in there, and they didn't have like party music, but it wasn't like the I want to slit your wrist music going on and feeding into your emotions, because even with anything in life, everything sets the ambience. You know what I'm saying? And some deaths are more tragic than others and things like that. And but I will say it did kind of transmute the whole energy of it. And then but yeah, that's just all. It's too morbid for me. I sit back and I think about this shit, and I'm like, who came up with, like, laying somebody out in a casket and then everybody going to look? Like, nobody wants to remember people like that. And then you feel guilty if you don't go, but the shit's burnt in your mind for like fucking 4 days, and you can't sleep. You're up at night. I officiated a funeral one time, and I can't mention no names. Man, I could have. I was like, oh my god. I was laying in bed, and this person sent me an instant message. First was thanking me. I officiated. Yeah, and sent me, and I was laying in bed, and sent me a message, and then you know how you open them up and you don't know what the hell you're going to see. Why'd she send me a picture of her brother in the damn casket saying thank you? It's like 3 in the morning. I'm laying in my bed. I'm like, really, mother? I know. Like, why? I just shut that window down. And so I'm not different from anybody else. But also too in the same senses, I just think it's just the energy that was placed around it, the fear of everything. You know what I mean? So, and everything's got a flip side to the coin. So, yeah, there's death is could be sad and stuff depending on the whole situations, but the thing about it is, but we also in return can be grateful for a life that we had an opportunity to be a part of, whether it was for 2 days, 5 minutes, 12 years, or a lifetime. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
So that's the gratitude in it all, because nothing, yeah, I guess nothing's forever, right? Everything's always in motion, moving, evolving. And and I feel like a lot of times people really get stuck in their own grief, and it's easier said than done. Hey, don't ever tell nobody to get over something, but it's just finding ways and mechanisms to be able to actually
Deal.
transition, you know what I mean, and move forward in certain things and ideas, and let everybody have their own belief system and things like that, and let them deal with how they deal with, and then just have a supportive hand along the way, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks. All right. So I,
Mhm.
I got this comment up here. I'm gonna take it down. But I wanted to see if you wanted to respond to this. JLo said, do you believe that sometimes we connect with others and physically transmute their karma through contract, just like
Mhm.
um tears? I,
Yep.
I'll
Yep.
let you answer that one.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely, because I believe so, sure. Because I also believe that. Okay, wait, okay. So think about it like this. Um, all right, so let's say that all right, I had daddy issues, right? So, but every time you heal a piece of yourself, right? If we're all children, we're all of a vibrational energy. It doesn't matter if we're bloodline or not. If I heal a part of myself that soul that has crossed over has not, you're not only healing that you're healing that whole vibration of souls, right? You're
Mm.
healing yourself and you're healing future forward for the future generations. So yeah, guess what, everybody? You're somewhat of a big fucking deal. And nobody realizes how big that they are, or nobody even thinks about that, because I think a lot of times we're basically in our, and I'm guilty of it too. You're in your head, like it's kind of like that thing. It's not just about us. It's a whole collective. So you don't have to be a medium or anything like that. Sure, you transition energy as soon as you walk into a room, or anywhere you go. And also too, when the energy's done or your time's done there, that's kind of like that feeling. When you get that feeling, say you used to love to go to work and you had like the best job and you're like, yeah, man, I'm rocking, I'm going to do the best I can. And then you start feeling shitty when you go in, and then everybody starts acting, it's not about them or blaming, but that is your telltale sign that's done. You're done. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, my time's done there. Now I get to move somewhere else, but as I just dropped my camera. I got to
So
transition this camera back into motion. Hold
so
on.
our topic for today, we got
What it
about
is.
30 minutes left. So guys, people watching, feel free to jump in with any tidbits, any questions, any comments, any concern. This is an interactive show. So make sure you guys interact with us. But our topic for today, or for today's our very first transmutation station, is to shift from fear to love. Oh, so Marcy, talk about it. Tell me how you feel about that. What you think about
Oh.
transforming from fear to love?
Well, I think that's kind of what the heaven on earth thing's going on right now, and we're facing. Like I said, when we first got on, or when we first opened up, I think a lot of our own fears are being brought to the surface, and then like the worldly programmed fears, and then energetically you can just kind of feel. I mean, people, everybody has abilities and gifts. I've always was a firm believer that nobody's never really realized that the stuff that they were doing every day was actually a part of all of that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like when you get that feeling, or you can feel somebody peering in the back of your neck. It doesn't necessarily mean that's spirit, but if you're standing in the line at Walmart, you can feel that person behind you, whether you turn around and you're going to wave at them, whether or not to. I mean, I always gauged that energy very well, even when I used to serve. I knew who I could talk, like what, when you go up to a table, I knew what tables you can go up to and be like, hey, what's going on, da, 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 or who don't want to be talked to. And some people, I think that, but then maybe some people don't recognize that, and they're just kind of all out there with it. And don't respect personal boundaries and spin people's faces and stuff. But really, it's all energy. But I just think it's just the personal growth. We learn so much every day. It's exciting to learn stuff every day. If you're
Yeah.
not learning something new every day, then
The fuck is
man,
you
get back on the merry-go-round, kids.
So
Yeah.
here's my take on it. So just shifting from fear to love, like this is, so I was talking to what is this, shout out to Black Swan. I was talking to Black Swans today. So I am a we have different type of learning. So we may incorporate some PowerPoints into this and things and such, because I learn visually. You can talk to me all day, but until you show me or until I actually do it, the concept really doesn't ring for me. So I like to give examples. I listen, guys, I only know my own shit. So if you think I'm narcissistic because I'm just talking about my own shit, eat my dick. That part. I'm trying to help you. So
I love how free you are. I love that about you. I love the authenticity.
I appreciate that. Listen, I ain't always been here, but now that I'm here, I'm never going back. You can never put me back in
Right? Yeah,
the
there's never no looking back. You can't do that. Don't do
cage.
that. Don't ever do that.
um,
Doesn't take a psychic to say it. Just don't do it.
thanks. So my idea of moving from transmuting from fear to love is I'll use my relationship as an example. So anybody who knows me, who watches my Instagram, is this guy I've been dating on and off for quite some time. But if you know me, you know about my past. So my past has built fear around me. Like every person who's ever done me wrong, you might as well just put a bar in front of me of fear, right? And so this guy, he is not perfect. He's human. So of course you're going to get another imperfect person because we're humans. But shout out to New Age Job, because I really think about this. And when I think about her is I have to make decisions with the new guy based out of love and not fear.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, my friend, let me tell you, it's the hardest thing and it's the scariest thing, because one, it causes me in the midst of a like I'll say I'm not gonna text him back, or he hasn't texted me in like 2 days. I'm not gonna text him. And in that moment, the question is, why am I saying that? Am I saying that out of fear? And am I saying that out of setting a boundary, or am I saying that out of love? Most of the time I can say it's out of fear. I'm not going to text him back, because if I don't text him back, then he can't hurt me and I'm not going to be hurt again. So I won't do it. Nobody's going to hurt me. That's fear. And I say this, a fear induced action produces a fear induced outcome. So I had to ask myself, how am I doing this? And if I know the background of our situation, if I really already know what it is, I should just send the message. But fear is in the back of my head, like, no, bitch, so you gonna be that dumb bitch again? That's fear. That's fear.
Like, it is hard to be vulnerable. You know what? And I can relate, because it is hard when you've been screwed over so much. But it's not, and it's not a blame thing. It's up to me whether I want to let people do whatever they do. You know what I mean? But then you learn along the way. It's like, and a lot of times it's like you get even, family members and stuff like that. It's like, well, when you're programmed into like, well, your family's your family. Yeah, but sometimes family can screw you over more than anybody. So you have to learn when to set those boundaries too. You know what I mean? And I'm at the point right now where I'm like, okay, well, it took a long time to get here though, because of all this water. Because I'm the sappy one, right? And I'll be at home crying about, but they don't, no, not no more. It's like, because if otherwise you're bound, so personal boundaries, emotional boundaries, but what I wanted to get at while I was teeter-tottering around this was that I really, I want people to know that I love them. You know what, and so I guess I'm important. It's important on that part for me, that I thought, well, even if I want to be stubborn in that aspect, I'm not ever, I'll take the, I don't know, I'll be for me, for me, just my own peace in my heart. It's like I don't ever have a problem telling anybody how much I love them or that I do love them. Even people that have screwed me over, I still send love to them. You know, it's like I wish them well, because I'm not going to hang on to it. You know, it may be transitioning a space and time that doesn't belong to us anymore, right? But it's, there ain't no sense of holding on to that shit.
And I think an important part of, especially in transmuting, and this kind of goes back to essentially what we were talking about, knowing where it comes from, and having boundaries and setting those boundaries. Because, like, excuse me, in those three I gave you, I was just like, is this fear? Is this a boundary? Or is this is this love? You have to know your boundaries, and your boundaries have to be healthy, and you have to be balance in order to be able to transmute that energy. Because if I'm not aware of myself, if I'm not aware of my boundaries, then I don't know if a boundary is being crossed or not being crossed, and then I'm not able to delineate whether it's fear or love, because I've let everything get all mixed up and jumbled. So in order to really transmute energy and to really take it from a fear to love, you have to be okay with self. You have to be set up in self, have that boundary within self to really be able to read the energy. And in order to read the energy, you got to know where the energy is coming from. And in order to know where the energy is coming from, you got to be in tune. Shout out to Lulu I Love from House of Oshun. You got to be in tune with your star player. You got to know what shit do you bring into, okay, what's my what is somebody else's mess? And I think that's super important.
Yeah, no, it is 100%. 100%. Because like when we're all, like I said, we're all growing and evolving, and it's multiple things. And then, take time out in your own space, and plus own up to your own shit. Like I'm good at owning up to my own shit too. I'll say if I said something fucked up. I'm like, all right, I didn't mean to do that. I feel like I bled something onto you, and I'm sorry. And I do. I've even called, hey, one time, this is a good story. I don't know. This is just authentic me. One time there was this guy, this was years ago. I felt so bad. But I didn't have nothing to feel bad for, because this guy liked me, and then I was out at the bar. I might have been smooching the DJ, and then I seen him walk through the door, and this dude's face was like, but nothing was going on. Like I didn't owe him nothing, but integrity wise, I felt like he clearly thought, I mean, I just felt bad, but I didn't. So I called him and I told him, I was like, I feel bad that I hurt you, but I really didn't owe him an apology, because I just knew the guy liked me, but he didn't even know where I was going to be at or nothing. And but like the look on his face, man, I felt that hit my heart. He was like devastated. I felt so bad. I was like, but it took a lot to call him and tell him, hey man, I'm sorry, but I'm not for you, or I'm not in a position in my life right now that, I'm sorry your feelings got hurt. But I didn't lead him on or nothing, but I still I allowed myself to take that blow. So maybe I did, you know what I mean? But I just felt bad that I could feel his emotion, you know what I mean?
And
so
you can, you all want.
I was like 22. That was a long time ago.
So you was a young pimp, Marcy. Is that what you trying to tell me?
I was just at the bar dancing, talking shit to people. I had a big brother who had every line in the book, so none of that shit ever worked on me. So I would just kind of just wait, and I was and it was just kind of funny. And all my cheesy pickup lines would work, and when they would work, I was like, oh my God, that seriously worked on them. I would never buy that. And then I would get in trouble.
So were you the type of girl that would go up and buy? I'm the type of girl that'll go up and buy a guy a drink. I'm not like, I don't want your money. Let me buy you a drink. What kind of girl?
Yeah, no. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, but I never really was serious about it. You know what I mean? Because that was just a time when I wasn't really trying to look for nobody. I was with my girlfriends having fun. And so we would just be out talking shit. And, and then, or people get mad, like, can I buy you a drink, or can I buy you a drink? And then I would say, at first I would say, no, thank you. I'd be nice at first, because I'm very nice. But then when they started getting cocky or whatever, like, no, because then you're going to think you're going to sit here all night. So take your ass on, and people kind of like, as nice as I am, I think that people, and I didn't mean it to hurt people's feelings. I give them the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean? But if you're nice at first, so maybe my boundaries unknowingly were a lot better than what I was giving myself credit for. But really, I was just kind of like the party starter. I'm a good hype man. I was like, pulling my sisters out of their comfort zone and stuff. They're so shy, and that would just like to make people like laugh and have fun, because that's what it's all about. Really, it's not hurting nobody or whatever, but what are you afraid of? But those that can't do teach it, and it's not even in that thing, but it's like even your own fear, it's like our own fears. It's like I was petrified to be on lives or to do my own videos, but I started a little bit here and there. So I'm slowly crawling out of my comfort zone. Like, hello world, here I am.
All right. So with that being said, let's use a real life experience. So if we transmute an energy, so you just said you were kind of afraid to be on live. So how did you prepare for it today?
I actually got a good pep talk from you about half hour before, and then I did this whole, did my little raise my vibration energy thing. And I was like, all right. And usually, you know what? I just like when when I'm channeling, it's kind of weird because if I give myself too much time to think about it, and that's really what it is, I'm in my head. If I just click that damn go button, and I always say it's like jumping in the fire, then that's when you do your best. Like when you're all in your head and you're thinking about all that stuff, you don't even gotta think about it. Just do it. Like Nike. Nike.
I feel like you are one of those people, because just from our conversation earlier, that like you said, you're good under pressure. Like if somebody give you some time to think about it, you will fuck it up. But if they say, hey, go.
Yeah. It's almost like I gotta be all in. And I get blindsided. When I get blindsided, man, I'm just like, Batgirl's coming out. It's like this shit's it's crazy. But and half the time it's like you don't, like I said, you don't even know how you do it, but I guess isn't that just who we are, in a lot of ways, right?
I'll take that. And one thing you said that I think that really works with us, because I'm not as bad as I was. I'm really working on my anxiety. I don't like to take medicines, especially when I get anxious. I don't like to smoke because I enjoy weed. I enjoy weed in the morning. I enjoy weed in the evening. I enjoy weed during sex. I enjoy weed after sex. I enjoy weed on the plane. I enjoy weed in the rain. So I don't ever want anything to take away from my marijuana. But because I am conscious and I think about things like that, when I'm anxious, I don't like to smoke. Or when I'm kind of going through something spiritually, I don't like to smoke because I don't like to link the thing that I enjoy to something that has like a cognitive or negative cognitive effect, if that makes sense. I don't know where I was going with that. It was somewhere, but I forgot. It'd be like that.
No, no, it's kind of, I think it kind of relates in the whole, because when you were talking about that, I was just thinking about how everybody is afraid to be out of this box. You know what I mean? Or not everybody per se, but maybe that's what Clear Sight's for, Mystical Illuminations Families for. Is that we're all uniquely different. We all have something we bring to the table, and that's the beauty of it all, and I think it even speaking in the sense of like, okay, well, even if you don't, the hardest part, even as doing readings and things for people is, or from the beginning, not so much now, because I just had to however you just take yourself out of it, but I'm not afraid. I'll get different things all the time. And the crazier it is, that I just got to say it because it was like, this shit sounds crazy. So, but in my mind, I wasn't saying it to myself and if I don't say it, then it'll keep on knocking on my door. You know what I mean? So, but if you're taking yourself away from that and you're trying to figure out, well, should I say this or not? That's the biggest thing. No, just say it, because it comes that quick, and it's not up to me to figure out or discern what it means per se, because when it's coming that quick, then it's not for me, it's for you. And by the grace of God, if you so choose, and it doesn't matter whether you even talk, and here's the thing too, you don't have to validate it for me, because it's not for me, it's for you. But the cool thing about it is that it always ends up being validated somehow, but I don't even care about being right. That's the thing. And I got that. And I had some lady talk about, or I did have a lady tell me one time, you hit on stuff I don't even think you knew you hit on. I was doing an interview for something, and I was like, I'm not being an asshole. It's like, but it's not. I just have to trust to say it, because I'll get, you get song messages, and I just, it's just playing in my head when I just said that. This is how we do it. Hey. That ages me. Remember that? When I said that, I was here. This is how we do it.
Did you telling people how we do it? This is how we do it.
This is how we do it on Transmutation Station.
Hey.
But and even yeah, what do you do? What do you do to get yourself out of a funk? I'll jam out. I think I'll be singing in my or I'll sing. Put in um I'll put in my earbuds and I used to sing. I'll sing as loud as I can. My neighbors are probably gonna be knocking, whatever. But a lot of times I'll just all music, you
Mm.
know, whatever I'm feeling. If you gotta get yourself pumped up, then you need a song. You need a song. You need to transmute that fear and get you a song that is gonna say, okay, I'm walking in here and I got the balls of a bull and I'm taking this world by storm. So one of mine used to be "All Eyes on Me" by Pac. Like when I need some confidence.
You're such a gangster.
But I just like "All Eyes on Me." Then I'll be playing it in my mind, and I even shared that. I shared that like with a lot of people, like but that's how we learn. That's the wisdom, or take it or get your own songs. You don't got to use mine, but get something that pushes you. And I don't trust people that don't like music. I'm sorry. I don't care what kind of music they like. If somebody says that they don't like any music, I can't understand that. I don't know why. It's just something that I can't understand about it. But I'm not everybody. Everybody's teach his own, right?
I'm
So
I don't trust bitches with contacts and bad lace fronts. Sorry. Don't like just don't. I don't like if you have colored contacts, I don't know why. And it's listen, I got a lot of friends that got colored contacts. Oh, I side out them. I love them, but I just don't. It's just I don't know. It's just something, and yeah, that. So if you don't like music, I fuck with that. But my way to transmute energy, very few people, very few people have actually seen me do it, or like no, but I love to dance. I'll dance. Like when I say dance, I'm not talking about like I'm not talking about one step, two step. I'm talking about professional stripper dance. I'm talking about pee popping. I'm talking about I'm dancing, and like even when I go to the gym, like and I remember at being a kid, like just thinking about this. My nanny, so so I have a godmother and a godfather. I call them my parent and my tea nanny. So if you ever hear me, I got a different vernacular. So if you ever hear me say those two, that's what I'm talking about. So my tea nanny, she lives in this place called Abbeville. She's from this place called Abbeville, Louisiana. It's in bumfuck nowhere. Okay. So shout out to Jai, shout out to J-Lo for the super chat. We appreciate you guys.
yeah, thank you everyone. I was seeing little comments come up. Oh, there we go. I seen little comments come up, but then I wasn't seeing them. Okay.
So I gotta remember to do that. But I'll say this. So my teen nanny, they used to, when I was a little girl, and I like literally just remember this not too long ago. They used to pay me to do the Tootsie Roll. Like they used to pay me to dance all the time because I used to always love to dance. I used to always love to dance. And so when I'm in the gym, when I'm working out in between songs, I'm like, you could literally catch me anywhere. I don't care where I am. I'm dancing. I'm always dancing. That's my like I'll be in my house just having the sexiest. I used to tell people when I first failed a bar exam, and I meant this from the bottom of my soul, and people always laugh, but it's only funny because it's true. I used to so anybody who knows me knows Drake is my favorite artist. So I used to tell people when I first failed a bar exam and I didn't have any money and I didn't have a good job, I used to practice I have a whole, and I'm not shitting you, I have a whole stripper routine to like one of Drake albums to the hey, enough cheek, right cheek, hey, no. It's the what is the one? Views from the Six, that album, because that was the summer I fell to bar. And listen, I could definitely left cheek, right cheek you. And I write, I sing, and to be honest, one of the things that I really do is I record in the neighborhood. That's my vlog. Like because for me, it transmutes energy for me because I'm able to see my growth. So I'm able to I'm able to record in that moment, and I'm very, very authentic in it because like if it's not real, like you don't go to the doctor and tell them your stomach hurt when it's your head. So I'm very, very real in the moment, and I record it, and that moment is captured in life. Then months down the line, when I've grown past it, when I've grown past that moment of fear or that thing that I thought that would take me out, or that moment of anxiousness or that moment of anxiety, when I've grown past it and the thing that I worried about is no longer, and I've defeated it, that helps me that one, it shows me that I'm stronger than I thought I was. It shows me that I can do it, but it also shows me it's okay. And I record it so other people can see it too, because I know if I see myself in those vulnerable moments, then other people will see them as well, and they'll also see the growth. And so that it helps me every time I record. So most of the time when I get anxious, I just record, and it helps me really, really release.
Yeah, I was I would dance around and stuff. I used to have full on like dance parties by myself in my dining room at my old house. I'd have them little twisty lights, and then I put my roller skates on and was roller skating around my dining room before.
Yes, yes.
Because the crazier I'm kind of, yeah, the crazier it is, the funner it is. So you can be. It doesn't matter how old we are. We all should find that little part of ourselves to still have a good time. You know what I mean? In your
And
heart, like whatever connects you back to yourself, because that's also transmuting that energy, because it's so easy to get outside of ourselves, and really it's just connecting back to us, too. And I think a lot of times and that might be part of one of my gifts too, is to I'll con people into doing, not in a bad way, not in a Hitler way, but it's like I will have you outside with some wings and some roller skates on, like some angel wings, rolling around the neighborhood, and
like,
with some glow sticks, with some glow sticks. Yeah, it's like, come on, you got some skates, let's do this. And they're looking at me like, what the hell, Like,
I think that's
like, you're in your 40s. I'm like, yeah, but man, the kids love me. Kids love me because I'm a big kid, but I know when to be a kid and I know when to be mature, and then you can wrap it all in one.
And I think a super, super, super important part of transmuting energy is being in touch with your inner child. I think the child ideology, or the mannerisms are pure in intention. Like you said, they're not concerned with being right or wrong. They just want to feel good. They want to have, there are no inhibitions. They're not worried about what the world's, they're not tainted by reality yet. And so I think that like to find that inner child, that inner child is to like peel back the layers of reality and not really give a fuck about the societal norms. You go back to that feeble mind that's able to be molded, but because you have that, like you're an adult now, so you have that adult guard that's like that allows that guards the mold, that doesn't let the bad stuff in. So like it's important for you to have that inner child and to use your adultness to protect that inner child. And I think that's like, if you don't have that inner child, you can't, there's no way you can transmute. There's no way, because you're not happy. And happy people just don't kill their husbands. That's from fucking Legally Blonde. But like happy people, like unhappy people do miserable people shit. Happy people, a genuinely happy person, they don't go out and do mean shit to people. They don't. I know, because they don't have time. They just trying to find some old happy shit to do.
Yep. And actually, you just helped me transition something. Cause now just that conversation just let me think. I think lately, I've been too fucking serious, because I've been letting like life be too serious, with like the real stuff versus, just maybe I need to throw on some skates. I did hook up Planet Fitness again. I might even do an ode to you video, just because, but
one of my favorite movies is Batman. I grew up in a Marvel family. Marvel or DC, which one? Put it in the comments. If you don't know what that is, you got homework to do. But I loved Heath Ledger as the Joker, and I really live. I associate, and I know this sounds sadistic. I can hear Ja right now just psychologying me, but I really, out of all the so my favorite movie is Beauty and the Beast, but my favorite love story is the Joker and Harley Quinn. I want a Joker and Harley Quinn relationship. And that sounds so sadistic to say, but one of his favorite things to say was, especially with Heath Ledger, is why so serious? It's so many fucked up things in the world already. Like it's things that I have to deal with. It's things that I can't turn my head away from. So when I'm not in those things, when I don't have to be in those things, you can find me in a fort watching Beauty and the Beast or the Disney Channel. Every time. like if I'm really in a funk, you can find me literally, like, ask my parents, you can call my brother, anybody. I'm either by the water or I am literally, my TV is on Disney Channel, and I don't give a fuck who cares, because, and because cartoons are not just for kids, and I say that all the time, but they're for adults as well, because the writers understand that adults have to watch them with their kids. But
Right.
it just brings me back. It just reminds me what's important in life, and like if it don't make you happy, don't do it. And I think
Right.
that's how kids live. Like I'm not gonna do some shit I don't want to do. But I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
know I feel like you.
No, for sure. You know what? I was just thinking of that little I like that little cute who was it? Eddie Murphy that plays that little dragonfly with the funky teeth and the frog prince. Is that the one?
I think
Is
yeah, I
that what
know.
it's called? That little cute. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that little dragonfly. Is that what
So
it is? Is it
so you Firefly. You talking about
a
a princess
firefly?
frog? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so Dragonfly. The fact that you say that is Dragonfly is one of
I
my
actually
like.
saw two today.
So let me tell you, the fact that you even say that. So Dragonfly is my ode to the universe. Whenever I see a dragonfly or a unicorn with colorful hair, that lets me know I'm in the right place. So you had
Hmm.
no clue that about that. So the fact that you even said that lets me know that we doing good things.
Yeah, we're doing good things.
All right,
Yeah.
so we got 5 more minutes to go. So what I want to do to take us out is we're gonna so another segment that we talked about this, but I want to take us out on this. So we're gonna do unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice. Y'all ain't asked us for this shit, but we gonna tell you any motherfucking way. Okay, 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 okay. All right. So, what unsolicited advice would you give to anybody when we talk about shifting from a fear mindset or a mentality to a love mindset or mentality and transmuting it? And you got like 2 minutes to give us that.
Ooh, I don't know because I'm working through it myself a lot of times. I think that, you know what, I'm just honest, you know? So, I guess the times in your life that you were fearful, but I guess it is, but once again, it's not just about you. It's not just about personally. It's kind of like it's all of the programming things. So a lot of times I think that maybe we think that it's just all of us. It's residual energies that are stored in our energetic bodies and such. Your etherical body could be past life energetic stuff, all of it. We're purging. We're in a big shift right now. We're purging all of that. So even if you are feeling, you know, man, there's been times I've been damn paranoid, and I'm like I feel like got right to that level, and I'm thinking my family, everybody thinks I'm nuts. I'm like, no, I'm not fucking nuts. I mean, we're all a little nuts, but you know, believe me, I know what I'm talking about. And actually, the last month there was just certain things I was like, okay. And I'm like, all right, you know, maybe it's shadow work. You're bringing, you know, fears or like residual fears are coming to surface, or just the things that kind of like Green Mile that you're taking on from other people. So it's also teaching me maybe when you're in spiritual fight or flight and you're just moving, going through life, and all these things are moving fast. And us as light workers too have to set our buttons down. You know what I mean? And let it kind of all the residual stuff melt away and transmute. But it almost felt like Green Mile. Yeah, like you take it all on in, and then you got to find a way to take it all out. You know, push it out and balance it out, because when you're taking everybody's energies, or just however works for you. But I think that in your heart of hearts that you have to know that how you got this far. So even if it's one little Lego block at a time, you know, it's just and maybe like that pull in your chest is just okay. That just wants to really fly out, you know, like maybe those wings want to open up in the chest. But and I'll always vision I like the golden light in the heart. That's your Christ conscious too, you know. So I do a lot with that. But pull the old shit bell a lot of times. What's the biggest thing you ever transitioned in your life
Ah,
from fear to love? I don't even know if I answered that question.
you did. You
I feel like the frequency is delivered.
did. You did. I think the biggest thing that I transitioned is my mind frame that I was a failure.
Hmm.
I made a whole bunch of silly decisions back to back to back to back to back.
Man, you know that if you haven't look it, I used to get fucked right up. Believe it. And not, you know, not I don't know, I don't judge nobody. I don't, because I feel like if we had to go to those places, because true people that don't judge people, you've learned something from all of those experiences, right? And that's also too what has grown and evolved you to this spot. So I one thing, I guess I shouldn't use the word hate. I seriously dislike judgment. I don't like judgment. And
Mhm.
so I got my punching gloves on for judgment. Now, some of us have fucked up worse than others, true. But the thing about it is that everybody has a story and everybody has an evolution and a piece to where this all takes us, right? And also, too, let's just say if we're on here, and anybody else, it's like why hang yourself to the damn cross? The world wants to hang you to the cross, and
Mhm.
it's people that trap their own selves and their fears and their cages that said, "Oh my God, they might find this out." Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Because there's your inspiration, right? Because now you're not just looking at somebody and saying, well, hey, there's some people that we all can help. Everybody has, there's just the frequency. It's like that's why there is enough for everybody, because you may have been through something that I haven't been through, and vice versa. And everybody, everything is delivered always on time, always on time. I just heard a bell go ting ting. I must have just got something. Okay, everything's always delivered on time. Quit trying to control shit. Yep,
That part.
that part.
And so
Right.
that's it was, and so everything you said is so true. But I wish somebody would have told me that when I started, like
Oh yeah.
it's like now, bitch, you at the end of the race. You tell me I know now.
Well, guess what? We us light workers got dropped into these situations where we're actually teaching them.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't matter how that a lot of the most empathic and stuff, and I'm not the only one who said it. I'm sure, but we actually everything that was felt like it was penned against you your whole life, you actually were the one that was opening the light.
Mhm.
So that was even but prepared you for where we're at right now, and what holds for us in our next evolution and endeavors, right?
Mhm.
um, because you transmuted energy in your family when they the programming said to stay stuck in this box. Well, why do you think people are telling you every day, well, this is how you should be doing, and you should be living like this, and you should be living like that? But they lived according to a plan somebody else had for them. And
Mhm.
that's where the breakthrough, the shift from fear to love truly is. You're not afraid to be authentically and exactly who you are and who you came to be in this life. So there it is, mic drop.
Hey, that
All
and I
right.
might drop with that. With that being said, this has
Divine talents. I got a line. I got a verse for you.
you got a
Right.
cosign.
I got a line. If anybody wants to write or collaborate around this, right? So light these. Oh wait, I'm not a rapper. So light these scars up in gold. I'm the greatest story ever told.
Hey, boom, boom, bang, bang.
What you think? What you think?
I love it. That shit was hot fire.
Well, yep. I will sell my lyrics. They can rap them all they want. I am not a rapper. I can sing some hooks though. I'll sing some hooks.
We can definitely. And you want to shuffle? I feel like you want to shuffle. Pull a card
Oh,
for.
I just did. I just pulled one that said divine talents, and that's when I dropped that verse. You owe me a verse, sister. Get it?
I rhyme and I rip. I'm ripping a rhyme. I stole it from somewhere. That's all I got.
I love it. I love it all. I guess we should do. Well, yeah, maybe pull a card to close it out.
Well, let's pull one. So I'm gonna pull a card. You pull a card, and then we'll thank the people and head out. So what I'm trying to see, what kind of cards should I pull? I'm gonna pull from my new Vision deck. This is one of my favorite decks. Shout out to
Mhm.
Magic Mike. I saw him using this shit. It made my brain itch. I was like, I gotta have it. So
I know. I have so many cards, and I love. But I'll just pick and choose whichever, like, energetically, who needs to what. I pulled Life Path 20.
22. So we
So that's kind of fun. That's kind of funny because we're talking about everybody, like, kind of like in the sense of the destined. Basically you're gonna evolve to where you're supposed to be,
Mhm, mhm,
right? The vibration on 20 for me when I'm looking at this, because I don't. It's kind of like it just hit my stomach though. So,
it's,
whew,
it's yours.
it's what it hit my, yeah, the energy on it hit my stomach, hit my core. Um, it has kids on it. Better not be, man. But it's got Jesus coming out the thing with the baby. So basically, in the sense of we're raising a vibration for all the children, and it's not just babies. It's adult children, because if we're all the energy, we're transitioning it all. It's like we're all, if they say we're all connected, then everybody has a link, right?
And we just talked about working on your inner child. So don't
And
forget
two,
to.
oh, two to me is archangels, and zeros. God, no ending, no beginning, or universal source, I guess you'd say. So co-creating, bring it to yourself, unto yourself.
So
Well, bringing you home, sister, but not in an actual physical casket death, but bringing you home to you.
bringing you back to yourself,
Yeah, I
which
love
is
it.
your true self, your inner self, your child self. So
Yes.
I love how this, and I'm gonna tie this together for us as we head out. So one, this is the bottom of my deck. So I want so to my males and my females, you are the king and the queen. This is the empress, and look at yourself differently. But with these cards, I love this card because you see here these fucking boys and girls, these children, is more children, and they're playing with this white swan, which is a color of purity, and it's a number 3. So we got to get grounded. So one, don't forget to nurture your inner child. In order to be the king or queen that you are, you have to nurture your inner child. You have to do things that make you smile. And then the card that I actually got was another 3, which is the 3 of Pentacles, but it's gonna take work. Any type of transmutation is going to take work. And I love that 3 is your number, Marcy, because you said we
There's
hear
a balance. You just said it's gonna take work. It's balancing it all out. I dang, our cards are intertwined and connected. What the F? What the
hey,
F?
the
Hey,
transmutation
that
station.
yeah, that just means we're doing it right, huh?
Hey. All right, so with that, I'm gonna wrap it up. If you don't have anything else, thank you guys. This has been our first episode of Transmutation Station. Y'all make sure y'all come back. We will be here next month, transmuting more energy with another energetic topic to talk about. I enjoyed this, and Marcy, I'll let you say what you enjoyed, and then we'll wrap it up and head out for the night. Again, shout out to Mr. Illumination, shout out to Magic Mike, shout out to Ja, Ben, fucking Kobe, everybody in the motherfucking chat who kicked it with us today. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. What she said. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you all again, and I'm excited to be a part of the Mystical Illuminations family. And we can help, well, ourselves and one person at a time, primarily everybody else. And then as you give that energy, you give as you allow yourself to receive. So if it's always for somebody else, it echoes back to you. However, that could be a verse, echoes back to you. I don't see. I'll just say shit, but we got somebody got to write that down. Echoes back to you. That's gonna go in the song or something. All right. God bless you. Love you all.
You guys, love you all. See